Hello everyone, welcome to the class. Let me just check if I'm live or not. I'll just check everything. Okay, yes. So I'm live. Let me just check the audio also. Let me just check if I'm live or not. Yes. The audio is also absolutely fine. So, a very warm welcome to the class, guys. And I'm really sorry that this class is taking place at this point of time because, as you know, there is a lot of rain going on, which is creating a huge havoc here. But anyway, we are live now and we will continue with our classes as usual from tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's what we will do. All right, so a very warm welcome to the class, and today we will be covering, as you can see, we'll be covering the Gupta Empire. I know the chronology is a bit off. We should have covered Kushan Empire first and then Gupta Empire, but there was some mishaps with the session, so we will be covering the Gupta Empire first, and then we will be taking up with the Kushan Empire. All right, so guys, let us start with the session. And before we begin, I would request everyone to join the Telegram channel for regular updates. As you can see here, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो that the link has been given, and at the same time, apart from the link, we also have something called the scan code, which has also been given. So you can opt for a okay. Just a minute, guys. What happened here? Yeah. So you can opt for either. You can either go for the link or you can go for the scan code. All right. And why is it important for you to join the group? Because this is where you will get updates regarding the classes. And at the same time, you will also get your notes in the classes. So do join the Telegram group. That's very important. Okay, now let's talk about my schedule. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. we are going to be having a class. All right, so I'm sorry, this is not October 10th, this will be 11th. Okay, so 11th October 2022, time 10 a.m. we will be talking about the Kushan Empire. Today we are talking about the Gupta Empire. So let's without further ado, let's start with the chapter. My live chat is open, guys. If you have any doubts, you can always ask in the live chat. Now, let's talk about the Gupta Empire. So, since we have been going on and on about ancient India, we know that three major empires, right? We have the Mauryas, then we have the Kushanas, and after this, we have the Guptas. Now, these are the three major empires that we speak about in ancient India. So, whenever we are doing ancient India, we will be talking about these empires. Most importantly, we will be talking about these empires. So, let's talk about the origins of the Guptas particularly. So, the decline of the modern empire resulted in the rise of two major political powers, and that was the Kushanas, all right, which is they are in the they're in the northern part of India, and then we have the Satavahanas. Okay, so the Kushanas are in the northern part of India, and Satavahanas are in the southern part of India. Fine. Now, both these empires brought political unity, economic growth in their respective areas. The Kushan reign in north came to an end around 230 CE. Fine. And then a good part of central India came under the Murundas, which is the kinsmen or maybe the family of the Kushanas. Okay. So, with the decline of the modern empire, we have rise of two important powers, Kushanas and Satavahanas. Kushanas are in the northern side, guys, and Satavahanas are in the southern side. Okay. Now, the Kushanas declined. Their reign came to an around 230 CE. And once they declined, a good part of central India was then under the Murundas. Now, who are the Murundas? Murundas are basically kinsmen of Kushanas. Kinsmen means they are basically people, they are family of the Kushanas. Okay. So the Murundas did not rule for a very long time. They only ruled for 25 to 30 years. Okay. Around the last decade of the 3rd century, which is 300s, around 275 CE, the dynasty of Guptas came to power. Now, the Gupta established control over the former dominions, so the areas which were held by the Kushanas and the Satavahanas earlier, now the Guptas have control over that. The Guptas, they belong to the Vaishya one, okay? Kept northern India politically united for more than a century. So they ruled for a very long time and they kept northern India under one political rule for more than almost a century. Okay? Now, the Guptas are believed to be feudatories of Kushanas. What do you mean by feudatories? Feudatories here basically means Samant, or you can say maybe they were chief ministers, or maybe they were appointed to collect revenue from the various parts of the Kushana dynasty. Okay? The original kingdom of Guptas comprised, now this is a very important point guys, please do remember this. It comprised of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and the center was at Prayag, which is in UP, Allahabad, guys. We also have this Prayag Pillar Prashasti or the Allahabad Pillar Prashasti, which has been found here. The Guptas set up their rules over the fertile plains of Madhya Desh, also known as the Anuganga, Saket, which is UP, Prayag, again UP, and Magad. Alright, so these were the states, so these were the important centers of their power. Again, very important point, please do remember. The Guptas made good use of the iron reserves which were found in central India and Bihar and took advantage of their proximity with North India, and they also entered into silk trade with the Byzantine Empire. Fine. Why did they enter into the silk trade? Now, because of, the good amount of economic activities that were taking place at this point of time, the Gupta age has also been referred to as the golden age. Fine. Because there were a lot of achievements in the field of arts, literature, science and technology. Apart from that, there was a lot of achievement in the economic sphere as well. Right? So that is why it has been called as the golden age of India. So please do let me know if you have any doubts here. The live chat is open guys. आप लोग यहाँ पे मुझे बता सकते हैं अगर आपको कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा हो तो. Okay. Please let me know if there is any doubt. Okay, so alright, let's move ahead then. So let's talk about the Gupta kings here. I have made a tabular form, so it will be easy for you to remember. Now this is again guys, it's very important. ये बहुत important है क्योंकि this is all facts, alright? This is all facts and these are very important from your MCQ point of view because they can ask you anything from here, okay? So who is Sri Gupt? Sri Gupt is the founder of the Gupta dynasty. His reign was from 240 to 280 CE, and he used the title of Maharaja. Okay, and yes, you get a lot of questions from titles, fine, because the Guptas took various titles. Similarly, the Kushanas also took various titles. So you have to remember the titles which have been taken by each of the rulers. Okay. Then the next we have Ghatotkaч. He's the son of Sri Gupt. He also took the title of Maharaja. Fine. The next person that we have is Chandragupta the first. Alright, so Sri Gupt, Ghatotkaч, then we have Chandragupta. His reign was from 319 to 335, 336 CE. We don't really know exactly. He was the one who started the Gupta era. What do you mean by that? It is from this period that actually the Guptas were now recognized. Okay. He also used the title Maharaja Dhiraj, which means Kings of Kings. Okay. And he married a literary princess called Kumar Devi. Alright. So these are the first three kings. So Sri Gupt, Ghatotkaч, and Chandragupta first. Alright. Let's move ahead and then we'll clear some doubts together. After this, we have Samudragupta, known as the best ruler of the Gupta dynasty. Alright. So he ruled from 335, 36 to 375. He did rule for a good amount of time. He is also known as the Napoleon of India by V.A. Smith. Please remember this. This is a very important point because this question has come n number of times. Who is known as the Napoleon of India? It is Samudragupta, and he has been called so by V.A. Smith. Now, his campaigns are mentioned in the Iran inscriptions, and he's also mentioned in the Allahabad inscription, guys, or the Prayag Pillar Prashasti. Okay? It's a bit of an exaggeration in that inscription, but still it does give us some information about him. Fine. Then we have Chandragupta II. He reigned from 376 to 413. He was the one who introduced the concept of Navratan or 9 gems in his court, just like we have with Akbar. He also took the title of Vikram Aditya. So he was known as Chandragupta Vikram Aditya. Alright. The daughter that we talk about always in our NCRT books, Prabhavati Gupta, she was his daughter. Because she was married to the Vaptak clan. Kumar Gupta. He reigned from 415 to 455. He was the one who founded the Nalanda University. Again, a very, very, very important point. Who founded the Nalanda University? It was Kumar Gupta. He also called himself Shakra Aditya. Okay? He was also called as what? He was also called as Shakra Aditya. Remember these names. They can very well come for your MCQs, guys. ये बहुत important points हैं. Do remember them. Lastly, we have Vishnugupta. He was the last ruler of the Gupta dynasty. Okay? And in between Samudragupta and Chandragupta, guys, you also have for a very brief period, you have a ruler called Ramgupta. Alright? But he ruled for a very brief amount of time. Alright? Let me know if you have any doubts in these two slides. Anything that you might not have understood, you can let me know. Okay, chiliye. So let's move ahead and let's talk about the beginning of the Gupta Empire. So as I already told you that with Chandragupta I, we finally see the beginning of the Gupta Empire. Okay. So he was the son of Ghatotkacha, this you already know. Now he's considered to be the founder of the Gupta era. Fine. Because it is only after he ascended the throne that Gupta Empire became famous. Now, he strengthened his position because he married the Lichavi princess in Nepal. He married Kumar Devi. She was a Lichavi princess from Nepal, and added the power and prestige to the Gupta family. Okay, and added the power and prestige of the Lichavi family to the Gupta family. Okay. And he also extended his empire through a lot of conquest. Particularly, he extended his empire from the Ganges River to the Prayag River in 321. Now, he issued coins in joint name of his queen and himself, which is a very important point. Again, it shows a lot of dignity from his side. He assumed the title of Maharaja Dhiraj. He was successful in building a small principality into a great kingdom. So what started, the Gupta Empire started with a small principality and it converted into a great empire, and that is only because of Chandragupta I. His empire consisted of Uttar Pradesh, Bengal and modern parts of Bihar, with Patliputra at its capital. So you can see so many big states being part of Chandragupta's reign. Okay. And he is known as the first great king. Alright. First great king of the Gupta Empire. Again, a very important point, guys. Do remember this. Fine. And what was the capital? Again, Patliputra here was the capital. So all those people belonging to Patna should definitely feel proud about this, because Ashoka also chose Patliputra to be its capital, and similarly this was chosen by Guptas as well. Okay, let's do some more slides and then we can finish quickly, take our doubts together. Let's talk about the Gupta Empire's jisko kehte na Nagina. Let's talk about the gem of the empire, and that's Samudragupta. The Gupta Empire was enormously enlarged by Chandragupta's son and successor, Samudragupta. The Allahabad pillar inscription, which I already told you, also known as the Prayag pillar Prashasti, gives a detailed account of his achievements. Okay, he followed the policy of war and conquest. Obviously, when you need to expand your empire, you need to follow this policy. Now, this inscription was actually composed by his court poet Hari Sen in Sanskrit. The inscription is engraved on the same pillar that carries the inscription of peace-loving Ashoka. So you can see here that how he's trying to intermingle two very important empires or dynasties which have ruled over the same parts of the country. Now, most of the Indian subcontinent was directly or indirectly under his control. From kingdoms in Nepal and Punjab in the north to Pallava kingdom in the Kanchipuram in the southeast, the last vestiges of the Kushan rule like the Shakas, the Murundas, and even the independent territory of Shimala, which is Sri Lanka, acknowledged his suzerainty. So now you can see how important he was. He actually ruled over all of India, dekha jaye to, isn't it? Because kingdoms like Punjab and Nepal, which were not directly under his control, Sri Lanka, the Shakas, the Murundas, they are also agreeing to his authority. They are also agreeing to his leadership. Okay? Now, the places in the territories conquered by Samudragupta can be divided into 5 groups. Again, यहाँ से ये बहुत important points हैं. ठीक है? Okay, यहाँ से ये बहुत important points है, guys. Fine. So please do remember this. So what are we have 5 groups here. Fine. Group 1 includes Ganga, Yamuna, Dwab, who were defeated. He uprooted the 9 Naga rulers and annexed their territory. So group 1 में कौन से लोग हैं? We have the Ganga, Yamuna, Dwab. Fine. They were defeated. And the 9 Naga rulers, the Naga rulers who were ruling this area, they were defeated and their territories were also annexed. ठीक है? Then we have group 2. It includes the rulers of eastern Himalayan states and some frontier states such as Nepal, Assam, Bengal, who surrendered to his might. Okay, group 2 consists of what? The eastern Himalaya, जो Himalayas की तरफ जितने भी states हैं, Nepal, Punjab, Bengal, and it also includes a little bit of Punjab. Okay, let me know if you have any doubts here, guys, so that we can clear it. Let me know, guys, if you have any doubts here. The live chat is open. You can type your doubts here. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's move ahead. All right. Let's talk about the third group. The third group includes the forest kingdoms of Vindhya, especially the central areas, and they were known as the Atavika Rajas. Okay, and they were forced their rulers into servitude, basically into slavery. The conquest of this region helped him move towards the south. So it was with the conquest of the central India that he was able to move down south. All right. Okay, group 4. It includes the 12 rulers of eastern Deccan and South India who were defeated, and his power reached as far as Kanchi, which is Tamil Nadu. The Pallavas were forced to recognize his suzerainty. So we have the 12 rulers who were ruling in eastern Deccan. They have been defeated. Then the Pallavas have also been defeated. Okay? It is important to mention that Veer Sen was the commander of Samudragupta during his southern campaign. In the south, he adapted the policy of political conciliation and reinstated the defeated kings to their thrones. These states acknowledge his suzerainty and paid him tributes and presents. So this is actually a very good way of dealing, because you know what you're doing. You're not entirely taking up the responsibility of governing a nation, right? Because that is actually too much. Fine. And you also don't want to create so many enemies around the subcontinent. So what you do, you defeat them, but you tell them that, okay, I will give you your kingdom back. You can be the ruler. You will be the decision maker. But what you have to do, you have to give me tributes, and you have to accept my suzerainty, that I am going to be the leader. I am going to be the king here, the Samrat here. Fine. So they have to give him annual tributes and presents. Okay. Now, why would this help? Because without taking any responsibilities as such, you have a steady source of income to maintain such a huge empire. At the same time, you also have won over the loyalties of these kings, right? So they would never really think of attacking you. So you are trying to protect yourself at various points, guys, economically, socially, politically, आर्मी वाइज आप हर तरीके से अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हो. फाइन. Group 5 includes the Shakas of Western India and the Kushanas who were in Northwest and Afghanistan. Samudragupta literally destroyed them and swept them out of power. Though he had spread his influence over a vast area and even received tributes from many kings, Samudragupta exercised direct administrative control mainly over the Indo-Gangetic basin. So as I told you earlier only, when you reinstate a king, you are not taking up the administrative responsibility of that particular place, right? So directly, Samudragupta only had administrative control over the Indo-Gangetic basin, which is the northern part of India. According to Chinese sources, Meghvarman, the ruler of Sri Lanka, sent a missionary to Samudragupta's to build a Buddhist temple at Bodh Gaya. So he was definitely, even though he was a Hindu, he was definitely a tolerant person. He was definitely very open to other religions as well. Okay, so let me know if you have any doubts in the entire Samudragupta slide, in both the slides. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's finish this and then we can clear the doubts together. So, after conquering the territories, Samudragupta celebrated with what is known as Ashwamedh Yagya. Now, Ashwamedh Yagya, I'm sure you're already familiar with. I've already explained all of these things when we were doing the early Rigvedic ages. If you have doubts, you can always drop in a comment and let me know. I will take it up in the next class. So he issued coins with the legend of restorer of Ashwamedh, which means he was the one who again started doing Ashwamedh Yagya. Now, it was because of his military achievements that Samudragupta is hailed as the Indian Napoleon. I think it should be the other way around. I think Napoleon should be known as the European Samudragupta, but he can, if that's what they want to call him. Now, he was equally great in personal accomplishments. Now, he was not just a great person politically or economically, or he was not just a great king, but he was also a very talented person. Fine. So, this Allahabad pillar inscription speaks about his intellect, his poetic skills, his proficiency in music. If you ever look at some of the Gupta coins, and particularly of Samudragupta period, you will see Samudragupta posing with a veena. That is an indicator that he knew how to play the veena. Okay. He is known by the title of Kaviraj, which means the king amongst the poets, because he has this ability of composing very beautiful verses. His images always depict him playing the veena. Fine. He is also credited with promoting Sanskrit literature and learning in his dynasty. Okay. So he was an ardent follower of Vaishnavism, which means he was a worshipper of Vishnu, but he was tolerant towards other religion as well. He did show interest in Buddhism. He was a great patron of a Buddhist scholar called Vasubandhu. Fine. Legends on his coin include epithets of Aparithatha, Vyagya Parakram, and Parakram. Okay, so these are the epithets. So these are the various pictures, not pictures, these are the various symbols you will find on his coins. Again, this is a very important point. Okay, such as the Aparitrihata, Vyagra Parakram, and the Parakram. Alright, so the brave tiger, the invincible, brave, all of these epithets you can find on his coins. Alright, which is an indicator of what he was as a person. Fine. Alright, guys, let me know if you have any doubts in whole of Samudragupta so that we can clear it. Just take a look at all the points. Let me know if there's anything you did not understand. चलिए आगे बढ़ते. Let's talk about Chandragupta II. Okay, Chandragupta II, also known as Chandragupta Vikramaditya, guys. Now, Samudragupta was succeeded by his son Chandragupta II, but according to some scholar, as I already told you, his immediate successor was Ramgupta. Okay, his immediate successor was Ramgupta. We don't have a lot of historical proof about this because he ruled for a very brief amount of time. Actually, he actually usurped the throne. He was not supposed to be the ruler because Samudragupta has chosen his younger son Chandragupta Vikramaditya to be the ruler. During Chandragupta II's reign, the Gupta dynasty reached its peak as far as expanding the territory is concerned. So he expanded his territories through marriage alliances. Okay? He married Kuber Naga, a Nag princess, and had a daughter Prabhavati with her. Okay? So who did he marry? He married Kuber Nag. She was a Nag princess. Alright. Now if you remember, where have you found Nag, guys? Nag has been found in group 1. They were ruling where? They were ruling in the Ganga Yamuna Dwab, right? So what did he do? He married a Nag princess and had a daughter with her, Prabhavati. Prabhavati was married to the Vaktak prince Rudrasen II of Deccan. After that of the husband, Prabhavati was the one who ruled the territory as a region because her sons were minor with the help of her father. Okay? Thus, Chandragupta II indirectly controlled the Vaktak kingdom also. So you can see how politically shrewd these people are. So he's not just controlling his territory, but he's also controlling the Vaktak territory. Chandragupta II's control over the Vaktak kingdom in central India proved advantageous from him. Why? It helped him to conquer Gujarat and Western Malwa. So he's in center of India, right? So he can either go left and he can go right also. Fine. So he was able to capture, in the left, he was able to capture Gujarat and Malwa, which was under the Shak rule. Fine. The Guptas reached the western sea coast, which was very famous for trade and commerce. So thoda sa east chale gaye ye log. Fine. थोड़ा सा ये लोग वेस्टर्न सी की तरफ भी चले गए जो कि अपने ट्रेड और कॉमर्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस था. Okay, and obviously for long distance trading they had trade relations with almost they participated in the Silk Route. They had trade relations with outside of India. Foreign trade में काफ़ी ज़्यादा involved थे. So this contributed to the prosperity of Malwa and its main city Ujjain, which was also Chandragupta's second capital. First capital is Patliputra and second capital is Ujjain. Okay? So please remember these points, guys. An iron pillar inscription at Mehrauli. Now this is again the Qutub complex. Fine. Indicates it is empire included even northwestern India and Bengal. Northwestern India matlab wo Rajasthan wala part and also Bengal. He adopted the title of Vikramaditya, meaning powerful is the sun. Fine. And Simha Vikrama. Fine. Which means what? Powerful as the lion. Simha means lion. Now he issued gold coins which were known as dinar, silver coins and copper coins. And on his coins he is mentioned as Chandra. What is he mentioned as? He is mentioned as Chandra. Now it was during his reign that a Chinese Buddhist pilgrim known as Fa Hien visited India and wrote detailed accounts about the people. The Udaygiri cave inscriptions refer to him as Digvijay. That is someone who has conquered the whole world. Remember these points. These are very important points because they can definitely come for your MCQ. His court as Ujjain had famous scholars, the Navratans, just like Akbar we have. So he also had Navratan in his court. So we have Kalidas. You already know him. I'm sure you've heard of his stories. He's the writer of Abhiganam Shakuntalam. He was the one who wrote Meghdut. And his literary works have been translated to European languages also. Now, so let us see what all did he wrote. Amar Simha. His work Amar Simha is a vocabulary of Sanskrit roots, homonyms and synonyms. It has 3 parts containing around 10,000 words and is also known as Trikanda. So all of this work is actually done by Kalidas. Okay. So apart from Abhijanam Shakuntalam, Kalidas also wrote what is known as Amar Simha. Now, Amar Simha is like a grammar book for Sanskrit, guys, because it has the roots of Sanskrit, the antonyms, the synonyms, all of this. Okay? Then he also known Varha Mihira. He wrote three important books. So we have the next person. So Kalidas is done. Next we have Varha Mihira. He wrote three important books. He composed Panchashidataka with the 5 astronomical systems. So this was actually talking about the astronomy of the world. Okay? His work Brihad Samhita is in Sanskrit language. It deals with variety of subjects like astronomy, geography, architecture, weather, animals, marriage, omens. Also, it will tell you about the social structure of that point of time. ठीक है? इनके बुक से आपको उस टाइम का जो सोशल स्ट्रक्चर है, उस टाइम का जो कॉमन इतिहास होगा लोगों का, the history of the common people, this is something you can get to know. Fine. His Bidhat Jatak is considered to be a standard work on astrology. Okay. So first of all, we have Kalidas, and then we have Varha Mihira, and he is the one who has composed all of these things. Okay. Let's move ahead and we will clear the doubts together. Then we have Dhanvantri. He is the father of Ayurveda. Again, guys, very important point. Please remember that who is the father of Ayurveda? It's Dhanvantri. Then we have Ghataka Rapara, an expert in sculpture and architecture. We have Shaku, an architect who wrote the Shilp Shastra, as in who basically told us that how sculptures should be constructed or made. We have Kaha Panaka, an astrologer who wrote the Jyotishi Shastra, jisko that still now we use for all kinds of astrology. We have Varuchi. He was the author of the Prakrit Paraksha, the first grammar of Prakrit language. We have Vetala Bhatt, author of Maharashtra, and was a magician. So these are very important points. You have to remember them, because ये आपको definitely पूछ सकते हैं that who is composed what, who is the writer of what. ये you have to remember all of these things. Okay. So Dhanvantri, we have Ghatak Kapara, we have Shanku, we have Kahapanaka, we have Varuchi, we have Vital Bhatt, and I'm sure you've heard of the tales of Vikram Vetal, right? So Chandragupta Vikramaditya is the one we're talking about here. So Vikram Vetal, maybe that is where it comes from. It comes from Vetal Bhatt. Could be, I'm assuming. So let me know if you have any doubts here. Guys, you can tell me in the live chat if there's anything you didn't understand. The live chat is open. Okay. Let's talk about Kumar Gupta now. So Kumar Gupta was the son of Chandragupta II, Vikramaditya, and he was the one who succeeded him. He adopted the title like Shakara Aditya and Mahendra Aditya. He performed the Ashwamedha sacrifices just like his grandfather. Most importantly, he laid the foundation of Nalanda University. So the major contribution, I think his most important contribution, is the fact that he is the one who made the foundation of Nalanda University, which emerged as an institution of international reputation. You must have heard of people coming from all over the world to study in this institution. We have, sorry, we have Chinese Buddhist pilgrims, Fa Hien, Yun Tsang. All of these people came to study here. At the end of his reign, peace did not prevail on the northwestern frontier due to invasion of the Huns in Central Asia. After occupying Bactria, the Huns crossed the Hindu Kush mountains, occupied Gandhar in eastern India. They first attacked Kumar Gupta's first reign. The first attack during Kumar Gupta's first reign was made unsuccessful by Prince Skandagupta. Okay? So what happened now? His reign. This is where you will see the decline of the Gupta Empire. Why? Because now we have a lot of foreign invasions again. Okay? It was during this time that the Huns started attacking India. So first of all, they have occupied or captured or annexed Bactria. And after that, they crossed the Hindu Kush mountain, which gave them an access to India. Now, their first attack was obviously made successful by Skandagupta. The inscription of Kumar Gupta reigns 1 are Karananda, Mandasore, Bilsad inscription and Damodar copper plate inscriptions. Again, this is a very important point because these are the sources through which we get to know about him. So what are the inscriptions? We have the Karananda, we have Mandasore, we have Bilsad and we have Damodar plate inscriptions, Damodar copper plate inscriptions, which tell us about Kumar Gupta. Okay, let's finish Skandagupta and then we can just clear some doubts together. So Skandagupta, he was the one who adopted the title of Vikram Aditya. Junagarh inscription of his reign reveal that his governor Parnadat repaired the Sudarshan Lake. So I am sure you're aware of the Sudarshan Lake aspect. If you have studied your NCERT books, the Sudarshan Lake aspect is actually very important. It was first built by the Mauryas, it was repaired by them, then it was repaired by Rudradaman I, then again it was repaired by whom? The Guptas. Okay? After Skandagupta, there were many successors like Puru Gupta, Kumar Gupta II, Buddha Gupta, Narsimha Gupta, Kumar Gupta III, Vishnu Gupta. But they could not save the Gupta Empire from the Huns, and ultimately the Gupta Empire totally disappeared due to a variety of reasons that we will be talking about. We will be talking about the decline of the empire for sure, alright. So that is all about your Skandagupta, and we all know that we have Vishnu Gupta, who is the last ruler of the Gupta dynasty. ठीक है, हम सब जानते हैं कि वो last ruler हैं. So we have all of these rulers, but they were not able to save the Gupta Empire from what is known as the Hun invasion. But apart from that also, there were various reasons as to why this empire declined, and that is something we will be taking up in the next class because I want to finish it in one go. So today we have only introduced the Gupta Empire, we have looked at Gupta Empire, we have seen, we have just taken a look at the kings, their contribution. We still have to focus on their decline, their art, architecture, literature, social, economic aspects. All of these things we will be focusing on. So if you have any doubts in the next class, you can always ask me, or you can always put it up on the comments if there's anything you don't understand. And before I end the class, I would again request all of you to join the Telegram channel. The link has been given. The scan code has also been given, alright. So you can join the Telegram channel because this is where you will get updates regarding the classes, your notes and everything. And also for some exclusive content, do download the Result Guru app because all of the notes and everything you can download from here as well. So, and also guys, before you all leave, please do like the session. Do share it with your friends. Do subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment if there's something you liked. You can tell us so that we'll be really happy. If there's something you don't like, you can tell us that, and we'll be more than happy to improve upon it. And also do subscribe to the channel and also press the bell button so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. So thank you so much for joining me here. It was an absolute pleasure to have you all, and I'll be seeing you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay. Good night, guys. See you. Take care. Bye bye.